Nobody will ever hurt you again. The pain ends today.
You smiled for the world, but inside, you were breaking. You stood tall when your soul was collapsing. You carried the weight when no one even noticed your hands trembling. Nobody saw how many nights you cried yourself to sleep. Nobody heard the prayers you whispered into your pillow, begging for just one more ounce of strength. But I see you now, and I need you to hear this. The hurt, it stops here. The betrayal, it ends today. The chaos that haunted your spirit, it does not get to follow you another step. You are not a victim anymore. You're not broken anymore. You're not living in survival. The version of you that tolerated the storms in silence, who bled for people who wouldn't even hand you a bandage, that version does not exist beyond this moment. You have already survived everything that was meant to destroy you. Now, you're stepping into a life built not on fear, but on power. Not on pain, but on peace. Every wound that once screamed inside you, it no longer owns you. Every scar that once made you hide, it now makes you shine. You didn't lose yourself. You were never lost. You were simply preparing for your rise. And today, right here, right now, you take your life back. Nobody will ever hurt you again, because you're no longer handing them the pen to write your story. The pain ends today. The healing begins today. The real you, the unstoppable you, is standing up now. And this time, you're not asking for permission. No more. No more bleeding for people who never learned how to heal themselves. No more staying quiet just to keep the peace while your spirit screams for freedom. No more shrinking to fit spaces that were never built to hold someone as limitless as you. You have given enough. You have carried enough. You have sacrificed enough. And now, you are done. You declare it with every breath you take from this moment forward. No more apologizing for your boundaries. No more excusing the disrespect. No more giving infinite chances to people who saw your kindness as weakness. Your heart is not a battlefield for careless souls. Your energy is not an endless resource for takers. Your peace is not a negotiation, it is sacred ground. Today, you draw a line so fierce, so final, that nothing toxic can ever cross it again. Today, you reclaim the words you once whispered in fear, and you roar them into the universe. No more. No more begging to be seen. No more pleading to be understood. No more explaining your worth to people committed to misunderstanding it. You were not born to be a martyr for other people's chaos. You were born to be a sanctuary for your own spirit. And starting now, you live like it. No more. Now that you've awakened, it's time to rise with intention. Because power without clarity is just noise. And your power, it's sacred. Here's the truth. Healing isn't just a feeling. It's a choice you make again and again every single day. And that choice starts with boundaries. Step 1, protect your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. If someone drains you, disrespects you, or disturbs your energy, distance isn't cruelty. It's clarity. You are no longer obligated to explain your no. You are no longer available for guilt-driven conversations. You do not have to answer every message, show up for every drama, or fix people who refuse to grow. Step 2, say no without guilt. Say yes without losing yourself. Let your no be a door. Let your yes be an invitation. But make sure both are rooted in love for yourself first. Step 3, choose silence over arguments. Choose solitude over fake company. Choose truth over performance. You're no longer here to keep the peace at the cost of your own. You're here to create peace and protect it. Start small. Unfollow what doesn't inspire you. Mute what doesn't align. Decline what drains. Walk away without looking back. And remember, you don't need their understanding to begin your healing. You don't need their apology to move forward. You don't need their approval to stand in your worth. You are not selfish for protecting your energy. You're not cold for setting a boundary. You are not mean for saying, "I deserve better." This is your breakthrough, the part of your story where things stop repeating and start rebuilding. This is the part where your peace becomes your priority. And from now on, you make every decision like your spirit is worth protecting, because it is. You carried it all so well that the world thought you were fine. But inside, you were holding broken pieces no one ever bothered to see. You laughed when you wanted to scream. You showed up when you wanted to disappear. You loved others fiercely, even when you had nothing left for yourself. You bled silently, stitching wounds no one asked about, hiding scars you were too tired to explain. You stayed because leaving felt like giving up. You endured because somewhere along the way, you were taught that suffering was proof of love. But it was never supposed to be this way. You were not made to be a vessel for other people's chaos. You were not created to be a dumping ground for pain that wasn't yours. You were not born to be broken just to make others whole. And even though they didn't see your storms, even though they didn't honor your battles, that does not mean your battles weren't real. They were. Every tear that fell in silence was real. Every sleepless night was real. Every time you questioned your worth because of someone else's blindness, it was real. But hear me now. You are not what they didn't see. You are not the hurt you carried alone. You are the survivor who stood up with bloodied knees. You are the warrior who kept breathing when it would have been easier to give up. You are the miracle nobody noticed, but a miracle nonetheless. And now, you finally see it too. You are not broken. You are not invisible. You are not disposable. You are sacred. You are powerful. You are necessary. The hidden hurt ends here. The unseen suffering ends here. Today you stop carrying burdens. There comes a moment when silence is no longer survival, it's suffocation. There comes a moment when the weight you've carried becomes heavier than your own soul can bear. And that moment is now. You feel it, don't you? That spark rising in your chest. That tiny, trembling roar inside you, growing louder by the second. It's the part of you that refuses to die. It's the part of you that refuses to shrink. It's the part of you that refuses to keep pretending you're okay when you're not. This is your awakening. Not a polite one, not a quiet one, but a wild, unstoppable, burning rise from the ashes of everything that tried to bury you. No more hiding your hurt. No more masking your heartbreak. No more shrinking your spirit to make others comfortable. You're waking up to the truth that was always there. You were never weak for loving. You were never broken for caring. You were never foolish for hoping. The world may have convinced you that your softness was your downfall. But your softness was your strength. Your heart was your revolution. And now you see it. You're not here to bleed for people who throw your love away. You're not here to silence your dreams so others feel taller. You're not here to set yourself on fire, just to light the way for those who would never walk beside you. You're here to ride. You're here to heal. You're here to roar. Today, you remember. Today, you reclaim. Today, you awaken. And once your soul wakes up, nothing and no one can ever put you back to sleep. You've tried to move on by forgetting. You've tried to outrun the memories, suppress the pain, bury the truth under busyness. But the ghosts never leave quietly. They show up in your triggers. They speak through your self-doubt. They echo in the silence after a goodbye. And today you stop running, because the only way to heal is to face what hurt you, not to relive it, not to stay trapped in it, but to finally say, you don't get to haunt me anymore. Look at the faces of your pain, the ones who left without explanation, the ones who loved you only when it was easy, the ones who called you too much when all you ever did was give too deeply. They don't control you anymore. You are allowed to feel what you couldn't say back then. You are allowed to grieve what you never got to release. You are allowed to feel angry, confused, disappointed, and still choose peace. Facing your ghosts isn't weakness, it's power. It's standing in the room with everything that tried to break you and realizing you're still here. The abandonment, the betrayal, the manipulation, they might have touched your past, but they do not get to dictate your future. So breathe, let it rise, let it pass, let it go. You don't owe your ghosts a single ounce more of your energy. You don't owe your past another day of your present. You owe you freedom. This is where the haunting ends. This is where your healing deepens. This is where you stop being afraid of what happened, because you finally know it no longer defines who you are. You've faced it. You've stayed. You've survived. Now you walk forward. This is the moment you stop asking for permission. The moment you stop waiting to be chosen. The moment you stop handing your peace to people who never knew what to do with it. Because now, you understand something deeper. Your power was never gone. It was just buried beneath the noise, the guilt, the people-pleasing, the survival mode. But it's back now. And this time, you're not hiding it. You've been soft long enough. You've stayed silent long enough. Now you speak with truth. Now you walk in fire. You no longer apologize for how deeply you feel, how fiercely you protect, how quickly you walk away when your spirit senses something's off. You no longer explain why you need space, why you raised your standards, why you stopped showing up for people who never showed up for you. You're done being the lifeline for people who watched you drown. You're done being the apology in rooms that could never hold your light. You're done bending to make others comfortable while your own soul shatters. Now you protect your peace like it's oxygen. Now you honor your boundaries like they're sacred law. Now you say no and mean it. Because this is your life, your energy, your power. And you don't owe it to anyone who can't meet you with respect, with truth, with love that feels like safety. You used to give your power away for free. But now it's earned, it's guarded, it's intentional. You've claimed your seat. You've reclaimed your worth. And the next time they ask who you are, you'll tell them, I am the one who remembered. I am the one who healed. I am the one who will never hand over my power again. You walk differently now. Not because you're bitter, but because you're better. Not because you're hard, but because you're wise. The old you would have over-explained, overextended, overcompensated. The new you walks in quiet power, knowing you don't owe anyone access to your energy. Your steps are slower now, more intentional. You no longer rush to prove yourself. You no longer beg to be chosen. Because you finally understand. You were always the prize. Now you move from center, not chaos. Now you speak when it matters, and let silence hold what doesn't. Now you love with your whole heart, but only when it's safe to stay open. You used to enter rooms trying to earn your place. Now, you bring the room into alignment with your peace. You don't chase anymore. You attract. You don't perform anymore. You exist. You don't shrink anymore. You expand. This new version of you walks in light boundaries and loud truth. You don't argue, you exit. You don't justify, you discern. You don't hold on, you release. And people notice, they feel it. The calm in your presence, the peace in your eyes, the silence that doesn't apologize. Because you finally walk like someone who knows they belong. Not in chaos, not in pain, but in power, in truth, in self-respect. You walk differently now, and it shows. Close your eyes for a moment and picture it. A life where you don't flinch when your phone rings. A life where you wake up with peace, not dread. A life where you no longer apologize for existing too loudly, loving too deeply, dreaming too boldly. You deserve mornings filled with sunlight and ease. You deserve friendships that feel like safe harbors, not emotional minefields. You deserve a heart that beats freely, not carefully. Imagine loving without fear, speaking without trembling, laughing without guilt. Imagine trusting yourself so fully that no storm could ever convince you to hide again. No more pretending to be okay when you're crumbling. No more staying in places where your voice is silenced. No more fighting for love that should never have had conditions. The future you deserve feels soft on the inside, but strong at the core. It's rooted in peace, watered by boundaries, fed by self-respect. It's filled with real connections, the ones that don't require you to shrink, bend, or bleed to be accepted. The future you deserve feels like home, inside yourself. No masks, no negotiations, no noise. Just peace that sings in your bones. Love that doesn't ask you to disappear. Joy that doesn't need explanation. And the best part? It's not somewhere far away. It's not hidden in someone else's hands. It's already inside you, waiting to unfold as you choose yourself over and over again. This is the future you deserve, and you're already walking toward it. Breathe deep. You've come so far, farther than you thought you could when the pain was loud and the nights were long. And now, it's time to seal everything you fought for. Repeat these truths, not as hopes, but as declarations. I am no longer a victim. I am the author of my life. I am not broken. I am reborn. I protect my peace with unapologetic grace. I love myself without permission or apology. I am not responsible for fixing what I didn't break. I walk with clarity. I speak with power. I move with purpose. I no longer chase love that hurts me. I no longer water dead plants. I no longer negotiate my worth. I attract what honors me. I create what frees me. I welcome what builds me. My spirit is sacred. My heart is whole. My life is mine. And today is the day everything changes. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, this breath you're taking, it's your first as the new you. The one who knows, the one who sees, the one who chooses herself. You're not broken. You're not too much. You're not invisible. You are power. You are peace. You are proof that healing is real. So walk forward, taller, louder, freer. Let the world adjust to your healed energy. Let the past fall away like old skin. Let your light blind the ones who never believed in you. Because from this moment on, nobody will ever hurt you again. The pain ends today, and your unstoppable, unbreakable, unforgettable story begins. If nobody has told you today, I'm proud of you for surviving things the world never saw. I'm proud of you for choosing healing when breaking would have been easier. And I'm proud of you for finally choosing you. Your story isn't ending, it's just beginning. Keep rising. And if this story touched your spirit, subscribe. Stay with me. Because your healing isn't a moment, it's a journey. And you don't have to walk it alone.